Hi there, I'm Camilo Escobar, Juridas founder, a law academy in artificial intelligence for lawyers and legal teams. We teach the legal foundations of artificial intelligence, of AI. Properly, we teach the foundations of law in relation to the elements of artificial intelligence. And today I'm going to explain why it's not about a fight between rights, because each right is important, because the only way to comply with the law is by making sure that there is the enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties. And that means that there must exist the enjoyment of each right and the fulfillment of each duty. Properly, there must exist the enjoyment of all of the rights and the fulfillment of all of the duties. And one right is only able to be enjoyed when there is the enjoyment of all the rights and fulfillment of all the duties, because everything is connected. So, for example, for instance, it's not about freedom of speech, freedom versus privacy. No, it's about understanding the way of existence of each right and duty to the extent of the facts of each legal relationship. That is, to the extent of the facts of each situation that is linked to what is defined in the law. So in one moment, there exists the freedom, and in another moment exists the privacy. In the second moment exists the privacy. In the first moment exists the freedom. And of course, to be clear, in both moments, all the rights and duties exist properly in both moments, and in general, in each moment related to what is defined in the law, in each fact related to what is defined in the law, there must exist the enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties, the enjoyment of all the rights and the fulfillment of all the duties. So in the first moment, in this example, there is the enjoyment of the freedom, and in the second moment, there is the enjoyment of the privacy, right? But, or properly, there is the enjoyment of the rights and duties that are related to the privacy, because the privacy is just a phenomenon. It's just the situation related to something private, but the privacy properly is something ambiguous. It's not a right and it's not a duty. It's something that is related to rights and duties. But in this example, in this second moment, the enjoyment of the rights and duties to the extent of the phenomena of privacy, depending on the way in which the privacy is existing, it's able to exist. I mean, in this second moment, it's possible to let the enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties to exist, because it's precisely the moment of the enjoyment of those rights and fulfillment of those duties. And in the first moment is the moment of the enjoyment of the right of freedom, of the right to be free. So in both moments, there is the enjoyment of each right, but it does not mean that there is not the enjoyment of the rest of the rights and the fulfillment of the rest of the duties. In each moment, each right is being enjoyed thanks to the way of existence of the enjoyment of all the rights and fulfillment of all the duties in each moment. So it's about knowing how each right and each duty exists, applies, proceeds, to know the form of existence of each right and duty, tailored to the extent of each fact in which there must exist the enjoyment of rights and duties, the enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties, because it's a fact related to what is defined in the law. So, as we can conclude, is not, in this example, freedom versus rights and duties related to privacy. It's not about the right to be free versus the rights and duties related to the privacy. No, it's about understanding that in each moment, the whole of the rights and duties must apply. The set of rights and duties must be applied, must exist. The enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties must exist in each situation. And of course, this is based in the vision of compliance with the law, because when there is the non-compliance with the law, when there is something unlawful, there is the inexistence of the enjoyment of rights and fulfillment of duties, and there is a situation in which, for instance, some person can try to persuade that this right is more important than this other right, etc. But this is another situation, and this situation, even in that case, does not clarify the way to enjoy the rights and duties based on a persuasion that just tried to say that this right is more important than this other right. The persuasion, or properly more than the persuasion, the discussion between the form of existence of rights and duties is something that clarifies the law, when it's something that clarifies the way of enjoyment of the rights and the way of fulfillment of the duties, the way to enjoy a right and the way to fulfill a duty, the way to enjoy the rights and the way to fulfill the duties. In that case, yes, that discussion permits the enlightenment, some enlightenment, but in the way to just say, no, this is right is more important than this other right is something that is not making clarity with respect to the law. So it's about understanding that the compliance with the law only exists when there is the enjoyment of all the rights and fulfillment of all the duties. And it's also understanding that the way to enjoy a right and to fulfill a duty depends on the way in which the facts of each legal relationship exist. Thank you so much, and I invite you to www.jurita.co to know what we do. Bye-bye, take care.